For a parent, losing a child has got to be the most devastating event a parent can ever go through. However, what happens when the parent is the one that takes the life of their own child? And what's even worse, what happens when the parent has help from her own twin sister? Let's find out right now. Wednesday, my Cajun cuties. Yes, it's me, Anne-Marie, aka the Cajun Crime Queen from Carrico, Louisiana. Cajun born, Cajun bred, and when I die, I'll be Cajun dead. I hope after this video that you'd like, subscribe, and comment, and don't forget to press the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne-Marie. I hope you have a beverage. I hope you have a snuggle partner or a snuggle fur partner. Those are the best, and you're ready to hear a true crime story with yours truly. And as always, I want to know, are y'all drinking that water? Are y'all staying hydrated? Are y'all getting those tickers up? Remember, just a quick 20-30 minute walk, especially first thing in the morning, get those endorphins up, and you're going to have an amazing, wonderful day, I promise you. And as always, thank you all for joining me on this wicked Wednesday evening as we discuss another true crime case. And before we get into the case today, I just want to let y'all know a little something about my hair. I know y'all like, Anne-Marie, what the heck is going on with that hair? Well, y'all, I tried to be different and curl it for y'all today, and it came out to be a disaster. It looks big as a house. As you all know, I have 2,000 pounds of hair, so I wanted to be a little bit different. I wanted to try something new. Oh no, never doing this again. It is just Frizz City. So y'all have to just excuse the hair for today. Today, I'm going to be discussing a very, very devastating, heartbreaking, and tragic case. Yes, today I'm going to be discussing the case of 6-year-old Duke FLORES. Duke was born on March 7, 2013 in California to his mother, Jackie Contreras. Duke was a sweet, loving, happy little boy. However, he was diagnosed with autism. That did not stop Duke from having fun. I saw several photos of Duke, and he was smiling, he was happy, he was running. He always had a huge smile on his face. He was a bright light and loved everyone. Everyone said Duke was a happy little boy. It was around late April, around April 25th. Duke's grandmother said, gosh, I haven't seen Duke in like 2 weeks, and I have 13 grandchildren, and I always see all of my grandchildren. Why haven't I seen Duke? So Duke's grandmother goes to Duke's mother's house, her daughter Jackie, and asks, hey, where's Duke? I haven't seen him in like 2 weeks. Do you know where he is? Can I see him? And this is when everything started spiraling out of control. When Jackie, Duke's mother, is confronted by Duke's grandmother, her mother, she starts giving her all kinds of different excuses. Oh, Duke's here, Duke's there, he's with this person, he's with that person. You know, kind of like Casey Anthony did when her mother, Cindy, asked her where Kaylee was. Casey started giving all kinds of excuses. She's with this person, that person, she's with the nanny, I dropped her off here, I dropped her off there. This is the same type of scenario. Jackie was giving her mother all types of excuses, saying where Duke was. Finally, Jackie tells her mother, look, Duke was hearing voices, so I decided to gather him up and take him to a mental hospital. Jackie's mother didn't believe that. She contacts local authorities and she says, hey, can y'all perform a welfare check on my daughter's home? I'm worried about my 6-year-old grandson, Duke FLORES. It was said that no welfare check was performed. I don't know how true that is, but there was supposedly no welfare check done. So Jackie's mother decides to call the police, and she wants to know. She's a grandmother. She wants to know where her 6-year-old grandson is. So she contacts the police. The police go to the home, and that is when 6-year-old Duke FLORES is reported missing. Jackie and her twin sister Jennifer start giving the police all kinds of different stories about where Duke is at the time. And they start to feel something's not right. Something doesn't seem right. Something seems off. So they gather their twin sisters and they want to bring them down to the police station to conduct an interview. And they both said they hadn't seen Duke for almost 2 weeks. It is now around April 25th, April 27th of 2019, and it was said that Duke hadn't been seen since April 14th. So this is 2 weeks later. He's reported missing. Everyone is looking for him. The twin sisters say that Duke was playing in the backyard and he just disappeared. He just disappeared, never came back. The police are worried. They're like, y'all, we are in the middle of the desert in Apple Valley, California. This is a 6-year-old little boy. He can be cold. He could be scared. There could be mountain lions. There could be coyotes. There could be all of these animals. We have to find this little boy. They knew in the back of their head something wasn't right with the twin story. After intense pressure from the police, the twins finally confess and tell the police exactly what happened to 6-year-old Duke Flores. The twins say they were hanging clothes on the clothesline when they heard some type of scream, some type of noise coming from the garage. So they take off running. And that is when they find 6-year-old Duke holding a pillow, trying to harm his little sister, who was very small at the time. The sisters said they looked at each other and they had to figure out what were they going to do about the situation. They were worried that Duke would harm the other children in the house, so they stood there trying to figure out what can they do to eliminate this problem. The next couple of details I'm going to be discussing, this is a trigger warning. So if y'all don't want to hear the details about exactly what happened to 6-year-old Duke, y'all please fast forward to the next part. The sisters are standing there and they look at each other and they say, you know what? We have to take Duke's life. The sisters gather up Duke, who's only 6 years old at the time. They pick him up. They hold him down. They take an electrical cord. They tie his hands around his back with this electrical cord. I'm sorry, I'm getting there. This is very hard for me. As y'all know, I'm a mother. And while the sisters hold him down, they place a bag over his head and take another electrical cord and place it around his neck, and they end the life of 6-year-old Duke Flores. How can a mother do this to her own child? How can a mother look down and watch her child pass away in her arms? This is absolutely devastating and very heartbreaking. When I heard about this case and when I heard about the details, I was just speechless. I was shocked that a mother and her own twin sister can look down at her child and her nephew and watch his life end. Now, a lot of people have asked me, do you believe the story about what Duke was doing to his little sister, trying to maybe take her life, trying to harm her? No, I do not believe that story. I believe something else happened and the twins just said that to justify what they did to Duke. But it could have happened. I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened. But let me tell you this. If that did in fact happen, when Jackie saw her 6-year-old child trying to harm his little sister, she should have taken him to the hospital. She should have taken him to get some kind of help. All she could do right there was help Duke. She should have looked at this situation and say, how can I help my child? How can I get him the help he needs? You do not take the life of your child because you think that is the right thing to do. It's not. So I do not believe that story, but who knows, that could have happened. What happens next is evil. And I have no idea where to even categorize these two sisters besides pure evil monsters. They take this little boy who just passed away in their arms and they wrap him in a plastic bag, wrap him up in a blanket, and bury him in the backyard. For 7 days, he is in the backyard while the twins are in the house sleeping. While your baby boy is outside of your house covered in pounds of dirt, you were just sleeping and going on with your life like it's nothing. However, on Easter Sunday, a week later, they noticed that their pit bulls are disturbing the makeshift grave. They're digging at it, they are looking at it, and they are worried that the pit bulls are going to dig up 6-year-old Duke. So the twins decide that they have to move Duke's body. The twins dig up 6-year-old Duke. They place him still in the bag and the blanket in a wagon. They take the wagon and they go down the street looking for an unlocked dumpster. And get this, y'all, get this. While Jennifer and Jackie are pulling the wagon with Duke's body inside of the wagon, Jennifer has her 2 children with her. So these 2 children, along with the twins, are walking down the street with Duke's lifeless body inside of this wagon. Who does that? Who does that? They finally find an unlocked dumpster 3 blocks south of their home, and they take Duke's lifeless body and throw him in the dumpster like he's a piece of trash. Like he is garbage. This is your child and you just threw him in the dumpster like he's nothing. It was said there is surveillance of the twins trying to conceal Duke's murder. I don't know what they have on surveillance. They can have the twins walking down the street with the wagon, with little Duke's lifeless body inside the wagon. I don't know exactly what they have, but they do have the twins on surveillance. A trash truck comes, picks up the dumpster that is filled with trash. However, inside of this dumpster is the lifeless body of 6-year-old Duke Flores. The dumpster is brought to a landfill and dumped with tons and tons and tons of garbage. Despite a massive search for over a month involving K-9 units, investigators, volunteers, the body of 6-year-old Duke Flores has never been recovered. He is still under tons and tons of garbage. He deserves so much better than that. Oh, that's just heartbreaking to know that this little boy is not being buried properly. In 2019, in April of 2019, the twin sisters pled not guilty and they have a $1 million bond set. As of now, there is no justice for 6-year-old Duke Flores. Their case is pending. But in my opinion, in my personal opinion, both sisters deserve to rot in jail for the rest of their lives. And I believe they are both going to be sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Because what they did to this little boy was pure evil. These twins are just straight up monsters. Monsters to do this to a 6-year-old child and for Jackie, to her child. My heart, my prayers go up to Duke's family, especially his grandmother, who was extremely worried about her 6-year-old grandson. And I hope Duke Flores gets the justice that he deserves. My final thought, I'll always give y'all my final thought. And my final thought is, the only thing I want right now are for those 2 twin sisters to rot in jail for the rest of their lives, because what they did to 6-year-old Duke was horrible, heartbreaking, terrible, and they deserve the worst in life, in my personal opinion. Now, another thing I want to say, having a child with special needs is tough. I understand that. But when God gives you a child with special needs, He wants you to love that child, nurture that child, show the child as much love as you possibly can, because they truly need it. They need help, they need guidance, they need everything they can possibly deserve. And in my opinion, that is exactly what 6-year-old Duke Flores needed. He needed the love, the attention, the support, the help, therapy, whatever he needed. Because when a child with special needs enters your life, they need every possible thing you can offer them. And I'm telling you, I hope Duke Flores is sleeping with the angels and having a great life up in heaven. I hope after this video that you like, subscribe, and comment. And don't forget to press the notification bell so you never miss a video from me, Anne Marie. And as always, stay safe, always be aware of your surroundings, and always know that I'm here for each and every one of y'all. I will see y'all next week with more Cajun Crime videos. And as always, thank y'all all for the love and support. And for you, I am truly grateful. I love each and every one of y'all, and I will see y'all next week. Bye.